For today's headlines, Nacionalista Party joins BBM-Sara bandwagon. Getting booster critical, according to Duque. Duterte says partyless system used by the rich communist groups. Isko pledges equal opportunity. Philippines rebuffs China's sovereignty claim. Department of Agriculture tightens control versus avian flu. Obiena and Federation near reconciliation. U.S. ex-bishop admits child sex abuse cover-up. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is March 30, 2022 and these are the latest news this Wednesday morning. The tandem of Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio has garnered more support, this time from the Nacionalista Party led by billionaire and former Senate President Manny Villar. Villar announced on Tuesday that the party was endorsing the BBM-Sara tandem, saying that they have the government platforms, qualifications, and track record to lead the Philippines towards unity and prosperity. He said in a statement that they believe that Bongbong and Inday Sara's message of unity is crucial in binding our country together and inspiring our people as we rebuild not only from the pandemic but also from the political chasm that divides us. BBM's camp expressed elation over the party's endorsement, saying it would surely serve as another insurance to the bandwagon of the support for the unity. Two other political parties, the PDP Laban wing under Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi and the Razon-backed National Unity Party, have earlier expressed support for Bongbong and Sara, who have consistently led pre-election surveys. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III on Tuesday expressed concern over the slow pace of administering COVID-19 booster shots, saying only 15% of total vaccinated individuals have received the additional third dose. In an interview on Daily Tribune's TV and digital news program Gising Na, Duque reiterated the importance of having booster shots to get additional protection against more transmissible variants of COVID-19 such as Omicron. He noted that individuals who belong to the most vulnerable populations, such as senior citizens and people with comorbidities, should avail of the additional protection provided by booster shots. The health chief also urged healthcare workers to get booster shots as data showed that the booster shots turnouts in the sector remained low. He assured the public that the country has more than enough COVID-19 vaccines, and he said that those who are running in the upcoming May elections can also help the government in its vaccination rollout by boosting the confidence of the public to get vaccinated. Meanwhile, with barely 2 months before the May 9 elections, President Rodrigo Duterte blasted the country's partyless system for serving as electoral vehicles of the rich and alleged communist groups. In his pre-recorded public address aired late Tuesday night, Duterte vowed to spend the remaining days of his life criticizing the system. He blamed the 1987 Constitution for allowing the scheme. A visibly frustrated Duterte said businessmen have utilized the scheme to get them elected to the House of Representatives. About 120 out of 177 partyless groups seeking Congress seats in this year's elections were identified with political clans and big businesses, as well as for having incumbent local officials, connections with the government and military, unknown or unclear advocacies and representations, and pending court cases and criminal charges, according to election watchdog Contradaya. Framers of the 1987 Constitution crafted a partyless provision to allocate 20% of the lower chamber seats to sectors which may want to take part in lawmaking. Its implementing law, Republic Act 7941, limited the system to marginalized groups so they could craft laws for their advocacies or causes. In his public address, Duterte also denounced several Makabayan bloc organizations, claiming they have been serving as legal fronts of the Communist Party of the Philippines. He even claimed that these groups have been using government funds to support communist rebels. The progressive party lead groups have long denied such allegations. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Beanie Beanie pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
We are back on Tribune News on Q. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso vowed to promote tourism in Mindanao if elected president in May, as he campaigned late Monday in Cagayan de Oro City. He cited the need to spread economic growth down south as the nation tries to rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic and the high prices of fuel made worse by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Isko met Governor Yevgeny or Bambi Emano at the provincial capital and lauded his putting the entire province within the country's tourism belt. Cagayan de Oro City is a major destination for the so-called MICE, or meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition segments of tourism. Prior to the pandemic, the city has been hosting at least 400 events every year. It has close to 5,000 rooms in different hotels and can host a single gathering of 3,000 people. In his 10-point Bilis Kilos economic agenda, Isko noted that prior to the pandemic, tourism accounted for about 12.7% of the country's gross domestic product, with 5.4 million Filipinos dependent on the sector for their livelihood. The Manila mayor reiterated that he'll continue Duterte's administration's Build, Build, Build infrastructure program, but emphasized that he will be focusing on building more socialized housing, schools, and hospitals across the land. The Philippines on Tuesday refuted China's claim that it has sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal, locally known as Panatag or Bajo de Masinloc. It came in response to Beijing's pronouncement that it has sovereign rights over Panatag, an apparent effort to defend a recent incident of close-distance maneuvering by a Chinese Coast Guard or CCG vessel that constrained the movement of a Philippine ship sailing in the area. Pala spokesperson Secretary Martin Andonar said that the Philippine position is that we continue to exercise full sovereignty over Bajo de Masinloc and its territorial sea, as well as sovereign rights and jurisdiction over the surrounding EEZ, or the Exclusive Economic Zone, and continental shelf. Andonar was responding to the Chinese Foreign Ministry statement Monday, in which Beijing spokesperson Wang Wenbin justified the CCG's action by insisting that the shoal and its adjacent waters are part of China's inherent territory. Wang said in a press briefing that they hope the Philippine ships will earnestly respect China's sovereignty and rights and interests, abide by Chinese domestic law and international law, and avoid interfering with the patrol and law enforcement of the China Coast Guard in the above-mentioned waters. The issue stemmed from a Philippine Coast Guard report that a CCG ship with bow number 3305 conducted close maneuvers within the vicinity of the traditional fishing ground off the coast of Zambales on March 2, constraining the movement of local vessel BRP Malabrigo. The Department of Agriculture has imposed more stringent border control measures to manage and contain avian influenza or AIH5N1 outbreaks affecting duck and quail farms in Bulacan, Pampanga, Laguna, and Camarines Sur. Agriculture Secretary William Dar said Tuesday the stricter protocols will not only prevent further spread and damage to the country's poultry industry, but will also ward off threats of future bird diseases. The Department of Agriculture has issued Memorandum Circular 5 prescribing the guidelines on the local movement of domestic and wild birds and poultry products by the products during the avian influenza surveillance period. The policy regulates the movement of ducks, quails, chicken, and other poultry commodities in affected areas, particularly those coming from within the 1-kilometer quarantine area. Bureau of Animal Industry or BAI Director Dr. Rildre Morales, for his part, said farm owners should comply with the transport requirements under the prescribed surveillance period, diagnostic tests, and biosecurity protocol of the World Organization for Animal Health. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.
Lilipad na ang agila, magtatanggol, magmamahal sa ating bansa.
We shall fly, soar, fight, and win!
Ayon sa World Bank, tinatayang 4.8 hanggang 12.7 milyong toneladang plastic ang sumisira sa ating karagatan taon-taon. Halos 80% nito ang nanggagaling sa Asya. Sa buong mundo, ang Pilipinas ay itinuturing na pangatlong pinakamalaking nagdudulot ng polusyon sa karagatan. Ang nakalalasong kemikal mula sa plastic ay di lamang kumukontamina sa karagatan, ngunit pati na rin sa hanging nilalanghap at lupang ginagalawan natin. Kung magpapatuloy ang kasalukuyang paggamit ng single-use plastics, sa taong 2050, mas marami na ang plastic kumpara sa mga isda na nasa ating mga karagatan. Dahil dito, mas pinaiigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya laban sa paggamit ng single-use plastics. Nanganganib ang ating planeta. Iisa lang ito. Lahat tayo ay dapat kumilos sa lalong madaling panahon upang pangalagaan ito. Tama na ang plastikan.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. Philippine Sports Commission or PSC Chairperson William Butch Ramirez feels that the reconciliation between EJ Obiena and his federation, the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association, is already within reach. Acting as the chief mediator, Ramirez yesterday said he feels that both parties are starting to soften their respective stands and a reconciliation could be reached in their meeting on April 1. Although he refused to divulge crucial details due to the confidentiality clause signed by the between groups, Ramirez said the progress of the peace negotiations had already reached 90 to 95%. Peace had been very elusive for both Obiena and Patafak. In fact, after the controversy of Obiena's alleged mismanagement of public funds broke out in late November, Ramirez immediately arranged a mediation with the hopes of coming up with a Christmas truce. But the efforts went for naught as Obiena rebuffed the offer twice, leading to a flurry court case and a Senate queries that even reached the Swiss-based Court of Arbitration of Sports. With the mediation yet to be completed, Obiena failed to see action in the World Athletics Indoor Championships and in danger of missing the 31st Southeast Asian Games. His monthly subsidy from the government had also been froze pending his full liquidation of his previous expenses. A Daily Tribune source confirmed Ramirez's claim, saying that both parties want one of the biggest controversies to rock Philippine sports to be finally settled. In a previous article, Obiena said he still hopes to repair his damaged relationship with his federation and move on with his promising athletic career. Should Obiena and Patafa formally reach a settlement, the star athlete will be able to see action in the Southeast Asian Games, and World Athletics Championships. In other news, a United States Association for Victims of Sexual Abuse denounced Monday a former bishop in New York State who admitted to having ignored multiple sexual assaults on children committed by 11 priests over 25 years. In April 2021, Howard Hubbard, an ex-bishop in the city of Albany, testified under oath over 4 days before the state's Supreme Court and acknowledged that from 1977 to 2002, he was informed of sexual abuse committed against minors without turning the clergy members over to police. The 680-page deposition was made public Friday under a judge's order and has since caught the attention of the U.S. media. The organization added that it hopes this news will encourage law enforcement to look into the situation and prosecute any crimes that were committed. When questioned as to why he had remained silent, Hubbard told the court that it was because he is not a mandated reporter of acts that the child sexual abuse, according to the remarks reported by local TV channel WNYT 13. According to the station, Hubbard, who left his post in 2014, hoped to avoid a new pedophilia scandal tarnishing the U.S. Catholic priests. Nonetheless, in a letter last August, he acknowledged that the church had not taken into account the impact of the alleged crimes on the victims. The Diocese of Albany said in a statement that its priority is the protection and assistance of victims or survivors and the discovery of the truth, the local TV channel reported. The U.S. Catholic Church has been rocked by years of accusations and revelations of sexual abuse committed by priests. And that wraps up the stories this morning, but before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Arada City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TribuneNow. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.